Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to Imperator Rome. So today I just kind of wanted to talk very briefly about Scorned families, kind of how I've been trying to manage that a little bit more recently. So when you start off in the game, you'll have a number of Scorned families. I currently have 5 by the looks of it. And in effect, these are the families in your empire or civilization that don't hold any prominent positions but feel they should. They're the noble families, and they've basically been scorned. You're ignoring them. You're not giving them any officers. So if we go to our characters tab and go over to the families, you can see here the representative national income each of the families is representing. And to not be a scorned family, they need a minimum of 2%. So you can see Sempronii 2%, so they're okay. Then we've got 3%, 4%. And you can see where that's coming from. This family has 2 generals, General of the 1st Legion and the 7th Legion. But down here, the Tremulii, you can see 4 members have only got 1% because one of their people is just a researcher. Not really worth much. So as such, characters of that family have a monthly loyalty negative modifier of 0.1 permanently. And that means you're kind of getting this steady trickle of disloyal characters trickling through your system. Because if you have, like him, for example, he's actually holding a position of office. Whoever it is who's actually holding the researcher slot. Which one is it? It's you. Yes, he is the researcher. So because he's holding that slot, he's slowly losing loyalty to the sitting consul, the ruler. And that'll continue to drop, and then it'll try and sow dissent and try and cause civil war. There's a couple of ways around this. You can either have no major... if you're going to scorn a family, it's better to give them no roles than some. So like this guy here, it's better for him to not be a researcher than have them as a scorned family and in a position, because he's getting some power by being in a position, but not enough to make the family happy, if that makes sense. So you can get around this by either spreading your roles around the different families in effect, so that rather than having, for example, like the 5% we've got here, you could get rid of Quintus from the Prefectus Militarius position and give it to someone on the another family. So if we go over to the government, for example, can I actually find him? Was he Prefectus Military Prefect? Was that him? I can't remember. Or was he Pontum? No, it was. I think he was the Military Tribune. So in effect, you could remove him and give him to another member of a scorned family. But he is actually currently the best person for that position. He's got the best military skill. So you're going to take a hit to your national tax income if you were to do that. So that's kind of a problem you run up against. So what I found the best way to do it is rather than is be a bit more conscious going forward. So for example now, kind of what started this video is I was thinking my censor has died and I've gotten the opportunity to replace him with somebody else. So the best man for the job is Hostus Fulvius, 64 loyalty, and his family is not scorned, so his loyalty is increasing by 0.01 a month. So positive is fine, no trouble, he would fill the position fine. But the person below him, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that name, still has a decent amount of loyalty, but you'll see he's a member of a scorned family, so that loyalty is going to be starting to drop now, continually going down by 0.09 a month because of the scorned family. If we were to appoint him to this position, that would probably remove his family from a scorned position because censor is quite a major position. The only time you have to be a bit careful with this is... trying to see if I can find a good example, but we can't. Ah, here. So despite the fact he would be absolutely horrific at the job, you'll notice he's also from a scorned family, but his loyalty is only 16.35. He's dropped too low. Was I to give him this position now, even though his loyalty would then start to increase slowly, then, you know, it's going to take too long. He will be disloyal for quite a long time because anyone below 33% loyalty has the risk of trying to dissent, revolt. So you need to try and, when you're appointing them, catch them early. I.e. this guy. So let's give it to this guy. We've currently got 5 scorned families. So let's give it to him. And hopefully we've still got 5. Why is that? Let's just tick time on a little bit. No, there we go. 4. Just takes time to tick over to update the list. There we go. And that shows kind of what I was trying to show. Which, yeah, now as the censor, he's no longer a scorned family. And that's one less group of people who are losing loyalty. And that's how I found the best way to manage it, because you can easily deal with a handful of Scorned families, because you get a warning up here as soon as a major character is starting to become disloyal, and you can just bribe him, or you can try and remove him, imprison him. There's a handful of things you can assassinate him. So as long as you've not got tens and tens of Scorned families and trying to mass deal with it, then I find it's easiest just to keep on top of it like that, and the few that you do get, you can just deal with individually. Anyway, that's just how I've been dealing it. Hopefully you found this useful. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for more Imperator content, and I shall see you all on the next video.